Hello everyone, my name is Roya and I am here to tell you about what I plan to read for 3 readathons that are coming up that slightly overlap with each other. So it's like basically it's going to be pretty much the entire month and a half's worth of readathons. So anyway, obviously the first one is the Tometopple readathon, which focuses on reading big books. This is hosted by Thoughts on Tomes, and I will leave the information below. There are challenges, but I don't really pay that much attention to them for this readathon, like ever, practically. But anyway, it goes for 2 weeks. So for that, I'm going to read Ship of Magic and Mad Ship by Robin Hobb. And since it won't take me the entire 2 weeks to read those two, unless I just really don't read very much, I'm also going to start Ship of Destiny, which is also my first read for the next readathon that I'm going to talk about, which is the Reading Quest. So the Reading Quest is hosted by Read at Midnight, who has a book blog, and basically she is the girl who did the Pokemon readathon last year. And so this is kind of the same idea. Like last year you had a Pokemon that gained XP depending on how much you read and how many challenges you completed. This is kind of the same idea. You start off as one of the 4 character classes, and then that determines what you want, what like challenges you do first and all of that. And then once you finish those challenges, you can move on to a different character class and do those ones. So this readathon goes for 3 weeks. It goes from August 14th through September 10th or something. It goes for a whole month, actually, like whole 4 weeks, I think, something like that. And there are also like little side quests / challenges that you can do that are like in the middle of the board. There's actually a board for this. Anyway, I'm leaving all the information down below. So basically I am starting off the Reading Quest as a knight, and I'm going to complete the associated challenges. And then if I finish all of them, I'm going to move on to the bard challenges. So basically, for a book with a weapon on the cover, I'm picking Ship of Destiny, which has a weapon in this girl's belt right here. Then I'm going to listen to the audiobook of The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu, who, that's going to count for the challenge of a first book in a series. And one thing that I really love about this readathon is that you actually get twice the XP for finishing a book by a marginalized author. So I just love that. Like, it's giving some more love to marginalized authors, even when that's not necessarily a theme of that readathon. So I just love that about it. I think it's really cool. The rest of my TBR has changed ever so slightly, like a few times, but basically I plan to read Zero Repeat Forever for the challenge of reading a book with a verb in the title, because this has the word repeat on it. Then I'm going to go off to one of the side challenges, which is to read a book that's over 500 pages, and so I will read Sailing to Sarantium, so that I can then get to its sequel, Lord of Emperors, for the challenge of a red cover. And that is basically all of the, like, specific to that character class challenges. And that goes so perfectly with all of the books that I was hoping to get to this month anyway, so that's perfect. And then depending on how far into the readathon I am before the other one starts, the next one that overlaps by a week, I'm going to do another one of the like side quest things and do a book set in the past or the future, and I'm going to read 4 Queens because I've actually been wanting to get to this in August or September anyway if I can. And then the last 3 books here are also going to count for the third readathon that I'm about to talk to you about. But first I'm going to show you what challenges they complete for this one. So, The Never-Ending Story I'm going to read for the challenge of reading a book to movie adaptation. Then from there we're really getting into the bard challenges here. The next one is to read a fairy tale retelling, and this, so I'm going to read Blood Red by Mercedes Lackey. And finally I'm going to read Swords Point by Ellen Kushner for the challenge, for just the free space, basically. Just this one's gonna be like at the end. And this is of course also by a marginalized author, so yay. So now I'm going to talk about the Because Dragons readathon, and this was just announced like yesterday practically as I'm filming this. This is run by a book blogger named Jordan, whose link I will leave down below as well, with all the information on it for this readathon. And this is basically a fantasy specific readathon that I'm sure some of you guys have heard of. For the challenge of read a classic fantasy book and a book with blue on the cover, I'm going to read The Never-Ending Story. For a book that reminds you of fall and a book with wings on the cover, I'm going to pick Blood Red. And for a swashbuckling fantasy, I'm going to pick Swords Point. Yeah, I read the companion sequel to of this, which is Privilege of the Sword, like just a few months ago, and that it was pretty swashbuckling-ish, and so I think this really it counts. So yeah, that's like most of my TBR for August and September anyway. It's kind of insane. So anyway, I will leave all the information for all three of those readathons down in the description. Let me know if you are participating in any of those, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!